Greetings, folks. Well, look, I've a message now to JD Vance and Donald Trump. Forget about inviting the two who I believe are parasites, or Taoiseach Micheál Martin and Simon Harris, to Washington DC. And I'm extending a big Céad Míle Fáilte welcome to JD Vance and Donald Trump to come to Ireland, and I'd like to take the opportunity to sit down with them, particularly after JD Vance's amazing speech in Munich on Friday night last, where he stated that the biggest threat to democracy now is the removal of freedom of speech. And I would like to sit down, because no better woman to talk to them now about the corruption and how I was falsely imprisoned by the Irish state for 4 days for my freedom of speech. And, you know, if they decided to come, I'd also like to invite Enoch Burke and his wonderful family to this meeting, because I have said from the start there'd be streets named after Enoch Burke for what the wrong that was done to this man at the hands of the Irish state. And I'd also invite Aaron Brady's father, who is fighting for what he believes is the injustice done to his son at the hands of the Irish state. And there's a few more I'd invite as well. But look, I mean, what's happening to us Irish people, I believe, is genocide, what the Irish government are doing to us. Look at the stabbings. Look at in Dublin, in Stony Batter and in Galway. I mean, our country is not safe. And, you know, for the size of this country now, Ireland, for what it is, I believe it's turning into one of the most corrupt countries in the world. To think that Catherine Martin, the Minister for Arts, knew about the €7 million failed IT system back last June, and we've gone through a general election where she ran and everything, and to think that she knew this. Why aren't they jailing Catherine Martin now? So is there one law for Catherine Martin and one law for Michelle Keane? This woman was in charge of the Department of Arts. Under her watch, allowed €7 million to be spent on a failed IT system. Look, the world is waking up. Last night we saw there that Ukraine's left off a drone attack on the Russia's region, while the Kremlin and Donald Trump are in peace talks. Things are getting very serious in this country when, you know, when a busload of 30 male unvetted men can be dropped to a bus stop in Ballina in County Mayo last Friday on Valentine's Day, with nothing, no accommodation, nothing lined up for them. And they're trying to tell us that everyone now is being vetted and they're, you know, being deported and all this nonsense. We need to close our borders now. No passport, no entry, and deport them all back immediately. Look, I believe yesterday that no locals in Knock came out, hardly no locals in Knock came out to support the peaceful protest. This, I believe, is a national disgrace. To think that our clergy and the local business people in Knock, who I believe now are selling their souls, they're selling the soul of God and Our Lady for profiteering for their souvenir shops, their coffee shops. I mean, who will be going to Knock now if all these IPAS centres with male unvetted men are landed in there overnight? You know, the people now that are still asleep, Ireland now is fastly losing the run of itself. And, you know, I'm very scared now for our children's generation. You know, when you think of it, they put Minister Norma Foley, ex-Minister for Education, who brought in this woke ideology nonsense into our classrooms, our children's classrooms. They've now put her into Roderick O'Gorman's job as Minister for Equality and Integration. So she's now responsible for integrating all these unvetted male migrants into Ireland, full stop. I know myself that busloads of these unvetted male migrants and other asylum seekers are being landed down by buses and shipped off by what I believe are paid NGOs in cars and taxis to different parts of Kerry. You know, look around in your streets every day when you're on the school run. Look at how many more people are there every morning that weren't there a week ago. People of Ireland, wake up before it's too late. And what's the first thing? What's the first bill they passed through, you know, in the Dáil was, under Michael Lowry's watch, was an increase in salaries for all junior ministers and everyone. This country is a joke. And, you know, if we don't stand up for our children's future now, what did the great men and women of 1916 die for? They didn't die. Michael Collins and them didn't die for what's after happening to this country. Look, I believe that JD Vance will come to Ireland, and I believe he will see firsthand and be told firsthand what's happening. The destruction what Leo Varadkar has done to this country, and to think he's now getting a job in Harvard University, probably because he supported Kamala Harris and God only knows what else. This is a joke. While he can now leave this country after the carnage he's after doing, selling out our country's soul, these people should be brought to justice for the wrong they've done to us Irish people, because no other country in the world would take this sitting down like what we're doing. But look, I, Michelle Keane, am keen on my country, and I do believe we can still make Ireland great again, but we all need to rally together. Goramila Mahagav.